Yeah. It's your boy Rich Notch.
Yo, and I'm Brock Landers.
And this is another episode of Chop It Up Hip Hop. And today we're going to be talking about things that piss us off in the industry, in the hip hop industry, things that get us vexed, things that upset us, things that grind our gears in hip hop. You know, we're going to get a few things off our chest. And I'd like to let everybody know we're not haters. We're not a bunch of disgruntled, out of the loop, stuck in the past type hip-hop heads here. We just going to address a few things that, you know, piss us off with hip-hop because we really take it to heart. We love this. We love this thing called hip-hop.
Yeah, man. So I guess you set it off to what really gets our fucking, what really grinds our gears.
I would set it off with crazy fans, these crazy hip hop fans loving the artist's personalities instead of the music, basing everything on the interview or what they wore or what they did or what maybe they didn't do, why they don't like them and why they like them, instead of just basing everything on the music.
Right. I know what you're saying. That's kind of annoying. It's like no matter what they put out, it's like, oh, they like it, even though it's fucking hot garbage.
Because they caught up in their personality. Like I have a lot of discussions and arguments with people, which I stop having discussions with and debates with, because at the end of the day, they're not basing it on music. If I'm talking about the album and music, they're basing it on but he said this, or they think they can relate to them somehow.
Yeah.
It just gets annoying after a while.
Yeah. Also the psycho fans that like the it's like a cult following.
Yeah,
where they just can't admit if somebody puts out a shitty album or certain things they do is stupid. They'll argue with you till they're blue in the face.
Like an artist can't do no wrong. Like or they stuck on the artist's past history albums and everything. Okay, they may have had some good stuff in the past, but if they're putting out a bunch of bullshit now, call it what it is. Like that's all I'm saying. Like everybody knows Nas is my favorite rapper, but if he puts out some bullshit, I'm going to call it what it is. If the song is trash or the album or whatever it is what it is. I'm not going to be like, oh, just because he put out a bunch of good stuff in the past that I got to give it a pass. So, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Based on what you said, though, about their personality thing, like you have any examples or like anything recent that kind of grinds you in your gears where people like something?
I mean, J. Cole.
Oh, we're gonna go there. All right,
J. Cole. Let's take it there, and let's get this out the way. Let's understand it. I like J. Cole. I like him as an artist. He's one of my favorite artists, actually, J. Cole.
Right.
But what was the album called?
For Your Eyes Only.
For Your Eyes Only. I think it was pretty bad, for lack of a better word. I don't think it was good. I think it was boring. I think the production sucked. He did all the beats.
Those Twitter fingers are going to go crazy when they hear this.
I mean, it was a boring album. And the thing is, you know when you speak to crazy fans because you're like, so what you think about the album? They just start coming with a bunch of excuses.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Right off the bat. They don't even say it's out. They be like, oh, no.
It's a concept album.
Yeah, it's a concept album. And I see where he was trying to go. I see where he's at in his life. I get it. I get what he's trying to do. What do you mean get what he's trying to do? Is it good or not? I didn't ask you that. I asked you, is the album good? They want to hit you. I get what he's trying to do. I see what he's trying to do. He's at that point in his life. He's creative. It's a concept album. Okay, that's not the first concept album.
It's been a lot. Of concept albums and a lot better ones. But me personally, I know you're a little more harsher on that album than I am. You know, to me, there's not any corny songs on the album, but there's no songs that are like fire. It's like to me, it's an album full of
sounds like a contradiction songs. Right there. You say there's no corny songs.
No, there's no like there's not one fire songs. There's not one song that's like, oh, this shit is garbage. Like there's not one.
The whole feel of the album's garbage. It's just like it's boring. It's like a boring album.
Yo, it's all right to me. It's all right. It does get boring. Like, but it's just like.
There's maybe like two songs on there.
To me, it's like a all right.
Boring. And no disrespect to J. Cole, but
but I hold him to a high standard too. So
I'm not gonna give him a pass just because I like him and just because his two albums before that was very good, extremely good. His two albums before that, so I'm not gonna give him a pass just because. I mean, but that's back to the crazy fans because
I'm not the crazy fan though. Trust me.
Yeah. But I know a lot of crazy fans where you could tell, like when you speak to them about an album, you look at them in their face, eye to eye. It's like they want to say it, but they won't. Not they look for every excuse. Then you'll ask them 2 weeks later, so are you still listening to the album? Do you still play it? They don't play it. Just like the Magnum Carter album, the Crazy J fans. Once again, Jay is one of my top 5 favorite MCs of all time, but I never thought the Magnum Carter album was really that good. Nah. It had a couple of songs. But overall, the album wasn't that good, but people was acting like it was the best thing since Reasonable Doubt or whatever.
Speaking of crazy fans, I think Jay-Z has the #1 crazy cult fan base where the only thing that it's not Jay-Z that bothers me. It's more like the fans. I'm just sick of everybody acting like he's the start and ending of everything hip hop. Like, like 444. I love that album. Great album. But
great album.
All of a sudden, it's like not everybody wants to like be put on to like knowledge and shit. Where there's a shitload of rappers that have been saying the shit he's been saying for years, but nobody wants to listen. Like, oh, I don't want to hear that shit. But when Jay-Z says it, everybody's fucking awake now. Like, it's annoying. That's like the Jay-Z fan base, and the J. Cole fan base is getting like that too.
They praise him. It's like just don't like his music or like I literally praise him. Like Jay, like. That's just my people, my black people. Like a lot of my black people, like I'm not gonna say everybody, but a lot of my black people was like we just follow. Like Nas did a song on Lost Tapes, Black Zombies, where it's just like
that's early 2000s.
Yeah, it's like Nas, and that's another thing. Like they act like the album is so deep. Like the album was, he's deep. He's dropping knowledge. Jay's dropping knowledge. He got deep with it. Oh my good. Like now it's cool to be conscious again. Like when Jay said, don't wear jerseys no more throwbacks, button-ups. Everybody did it. When Jay have a kid, dudes act like they want to have a kid now and step up. People want to have kids and everything. When Jay got married, it's cool to get married now. It's like whatever Jay do, he could shift the whole hip-hop culture, which is cool. He's powerful. I got no problem with that. But people, like, have your own mind. Like, what I mean? Don't let he made a good points on the album. He said some good, like, it was some good stuff that he said on the album, but it wasn't knowledge.
He definitely said like good
financial.
He definitely said good shit, but like we were saying before, like
I wouldn't call it deep.
Said before.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it deep or knowledge, and it's been said before. They acting like he's the first, like he's the first person. Like, see, like Jay dropping knowledge. Okay, you act like he's the first one to do that. There's a lot of rappers that been doing that, but a lot of people are so close minded, they're not listening to nothing else. So when Jay say it, it's like, oh God, like. Yeah, Resurrection of Christ or something. Like, it's annoying.
And another thing too is he got a problem because Prince's estate put it on the they took it like off exclusive to Tidal and put it on other formats, which I was happy with. Guy like Prince should be on all formats, not just Tidal. And it's like other things he's like salty about, but it's just like he just he flips it into his bigger issue when it's really just he wants you to support his business. That's how I see it. But I'm not knocking him for it, but you guys got to like open your eyes.
Back to the crazy fans, like open your eyes. Listen, everything, your favorite rapper, your favorite artist, they all put out lackluster projects here and there. For sure. Everybody do. It is what it is. But like you said, the Jay fans, he can't do no wrong. It's like he can't drop a bad song, a bad verse, a bad album. Right. It's like it's impossible, which is amazing to me. But yeah, like I said, overall the album's good. We just talk about the fans, so that's one of the things that actually pissed me off, the hip hop fans with all that. And same thing with the Nicki fans too. But the Nicki fans, they go hard. She can't do no wrong. She spits the best. Like can't do no wrong. Yeah, but another thing that pisses me off is people making excuses for trash music, and I get caught up in these conversations. It turns out to be debates, and it starts turning out to arguments. I'm like, why am I arguing when people making excuses, especially people that don't even have like real hip hop knowledge? You find yourself arguing with them like, what am I doing? Like they make excuses for every artist. Like everything they do, they make an excuse.
You're talking to people that they don't care about the actual body of work, that whatever's popping, whatever's trending. We're in the trending generation where whatever's the hot topic, that's what people care about. Instead of people just thinking for themselves, like, you know what I'm hearing? I don't like this shit. Mm-hmm. Instead, it's like, oh, it's on the radio all the time, so I gotta like it because it's popping. Mm-hmm. Is that what you mean? Like shit like that?
They're being force fed, yeah.
Yeah. Right. You have examples of what you were just talking about.
Yeah. And another thing is the whole you're a hater. If you don't like something, you're a hater. If something's popular, like people come up to me like, how you don't like that song? It's always on the radio. It's #1 on the billboards. Okay, and I don't like it. It's just my opinion. It doesn't make me a hater. What makes me a hater, if I'm telling you I don't like it, it sucks, and on the low, I'm listening to it on my iPod and my headphones, I'm playing it in the car, and I'm playing it at that house, and I really like it. That's what makes you a hater, because you have a hidden agenda for whatever reason. You just want to hate on that artist or that music, whatever. If it's just, people can't have their opinions nowadays.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. People are terrified to be called a hater. Yeah. I mean, listen, being a hater means you're a jealous person. But when you call somebody a hater or over everything, doesn't mean they're jealous. Like, yeah, if I hear someone on the radio and I think it's trash and I hate the song, all right, I guess I'm a hater in that sense, but I'm not hating because it's popping. You know what I mean? It's just, I hate what I'm hearing pretty much.
If I don't like it, I don't like it.
I just hate what I hear.
Yeah. Like, I have to like everything because it's popular.
Yeah,
I have to like everything because it's selling.
Yeah, they use the word hater like there's no tomorrow. Yeah. But it's not the same thing of me hating the song and me being a hater.
Like when you have debates with some of these knuckleheads out here, these numbskulls, these idiots, when you debating about music or who's a better artist, and they want to start throwing numbers and sales at you. Oh, they #1 and they downloaded. Whoever you talking about, they don't sell nothing, whatever. Like, you're a hater. Why? Or you're hating because this person is selling so much. No, I'm not. Honestly, I don't like the music. I like people that sell. Kendrick did good numbers. J. Cole did great numbers. I like these artists. Right. Jay, he went platinum, what they said, in a week. Yeah. I like it. I support the album. I love the album. I'm not a hater, but certain things I don't like. Like, it just is what it is. Like, why can't you have your own opinion nowadays? Yeah. Without being so
bitch ass generation.
Yeah, that's just another thing that just pisses me off in hip hop. And another thing that pisses me off in hip hop is all the rappers nowadays glorifying being drug addicts, basically. Glorifying being fiends, making it seem like it's cool to be a fiend. Like, lean is damn near worse. It's like the equivalent damn near to heroin in almost everything. Like
Percocets, like doing
dope. Percocets, like y'all future fiends. Like I grew up on the era, well, even actually before me, when hip hop was basically about don't do drugs, say no to drugs, don't do this. It was more of a positive vibe.
If anything, you're just smoking weed.
And then it changed a little bit to, okay, you have rappers, I sell drugs, I'm trying to get out the hood, I'm trying to whatever, I have to sell drugs, I sell drugs. Now it went from like I sell drugs to I do a little weed, drink, a little coke rhymes here and there in the 90s, whatever like that. But now it's like, this is what I do. I'm on drugs, I'm on pills, I'm on, like, it pisses me off. It's like, they look all malnourished and skinny, like that's the new look. They look like they about to pass away.
All these dudes, they're not comfortable with themselves. That's what it is too. They get a little money and fame, and they're going to these parties, and they see celebs doing it, other celebs. It's like, oh, if they're doing it, it means it's cool. I could do it too. I mean, you're not comfortable with yourself, so if you see like somebody in the industry doing it, it makes you feel good about doing it yourself. No, you could party without sniffing blow or doing fucking pills and shit. And like, let them do their thing. You do your thing. You don't have to fit in. You know what I mean?
But that's why
trending generation, man. Tell you, nobody has minds of their own.
And that's why their music sounds like they do. That sound like it does. Like, I think they basically all druggies. They drugged out their mind. Like, the interviews are horrible. Either they're drugged up in the interviews,
they sound dumb as shit.
They think they're too cool. It's like, you just got put on. Like, you're a new artist. You coming in the interview like you're so cool. Like, you too cool to answer the questions. Right. Like, why are you here? Like, why even do the interview? Like,
most of those interviews are in the morning, and they're probably going through pill withdrawals or something. Yeah. They're probably like no sleep. They're probably pilled up. But I don't know. Whatever.
Even the ones at night, it's like they give horrible interviews. Back in the days, hip-hop artists gave way better interviews. Oh, yeah. Like, the interviews are horrible now with a lot of these new artists. They,
like you said, they act too cool. Like, they don't answer questions. They give, like, very short answers. And it's just, like, retarded.
It's just, and the whole look, like, that's cool to look like you haven't ate in 6 months and they looking all tattooed up, like they about to, like, pass out or whatever. It's like, I don't get it. Like, if they don't look like that, they look super weird or super. Like, I don't get caught up in the look and everything, but it's just, I don't know. It just pisses me off. It's like you telling the kids basically like, yeah, Percocets and become a fiend. Basically, that's what you're saying.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's one thing that pisses me. That's one of the things that pisses me off. And another thing I don't like, how these award shows and certain articles you read online and everything talk about, like, they place certain music in hip hop categories, which I don't think is qualified as hip hop. It doesn't sound like hip hop.
Yeah, that's something we got to touch on another time. Like, they got to name it something else, like a new genre, because this shit ain't hip hop no more. I don't even know what. I don't know
what it is, but it's not hip hop. And some of the stuff is not even, they're not even rapping. Besides the fact the ones that rap terrible, that's trash. It's like you're singing.
Yeah.
You're harmonizing. You're doing a melody. It's not hip hop.
No.
But they put it in the hip hop category. That pisses me off when I see these award shows. Like, why is that in the hip hop category? It could be a Drake song where he's singing on the whole song. Why is this why y'all putting it as hip hop?
I guess because it's a person of color, it's considered hip hop.
Put it in the R&B. Put it in the R&B category.
Yeah, I agree.
It could be a Nicki song where she's singing and everything. They'll put it in the hip hop category.
All the shit that's going on now, they need to call it something else, and that's why people wouldn't have no problem if you didn't call it hip hop. You just call it something else. Like, all right, you know what? That's that type of music. Like, you know, like EDM or something. Like, they need to call it something else. Like,
yeah. I don't know what they're gonna come up with, but a lot of this stuff is not hip hop, and they placing it under the hip hop umbrella, which is making me upset as a real hip hop fan out here. And another thing I got a problem with is the videos. The videos nowadays, like, I know we sound angry people, but we just get this episode. This is what this episode's about. Getting stuff off our chest that pisses us off that's going on in hip hop right now. And one of the things, I mean, most people don't even watch videos nowadays, to tell you the truth. But every now and then, I'm flipping through the channels. Yeah, I turn to the video channel and I see these videos. They're all the same.
Exactly the same.
They're all exactly the same. These videos. It's bad enough they all sound the same, most of these cats. They all sound the same. They all got the little light voice. It sounds like a bunch of mini Kanye / Drakes / even like Cole and them. They all got that, like, that voice. Big Sean. Not saying they all sound identical, but you get what I'm saying? Like that light voice. It's like, yo, like, what happened to...
Listen, this was all birthed from one person.
Kanye. He birthed a lot of them.
I would say Wayne.
I say Kanye. I say the Drakes.
I would say
the Big Seans.
I was saying Weezy.
Nah, that's Kanye.
Well, he birthed all that weirdo looking, like, dressing all kind of weird.
He birthed the weirdo look,
wearing, like, all kinds of different colored shades. But
that flow and that, like, them rappers that can't talk about street stuff because they didn't come from the streets. So Kanye made it cool.
Right, I got you.
So you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they all got that same kind of. And it's a lot of them, Tyga. It's a lot of them. I be seeing on, like, MTV too, like artists I didn't even heard of, but they got that voice.
Yeah.
They got that voice. They all do that thing on stage, that little hop with the leg and everything, when they rap it with the mic and one hand behind. You know what I'm talking about, the Kanye thing? One hand be behind like that, and they be all like, it's like, it's all the same. Like the videos, the sound, that pisses me off.
I wish I had the sound bite for Rap Is Out of Control. You know what? I'm gonna put that.
Yeah. Like it is out of control. Like
that's the name of today's episode. Rap is out of control.
It is out of control. And so the videos it's all the same thing. Girls by the pool, cars.
It's either in the club or in the hood, like on the street.
In a strip club or or somewhere dark where there's a little smoke.
Can somebody tell a story or just, I don't know, just do something.
Do something different. The 90s videos used to look different. Even if it was a low budget video. I used to love boot camp videos. Yeah. Mobb D, Wu-Tang video. It wasn't high budget videos or a lot of fancy cars and girls. It was just videos that was good and was different from each other.
I mean,
and they sound different. That's besides the point. They sound like men. Like they had different voice. Method Man sound like Method Man. Biggie had a voice. They all didn't sound with this little light high voice. Like
right.
It just kills me. But we got to do better, people. We definitely got to do better as far as that go.
Let's get it together.
Yeah. And another thing that pisses me off is the beats, the producers in hip hop. These new producers. I ain't gonna name no names, but these new producers, it's like, how are y'all getting paid so much for the type of beats? It sounds so basic. It sounds like Fisher Price, my first beat. The little add a little, like, it sounds.
Well, my thing is this, like, if I was a new rapper coming up, or even an A&R, or even a label, I'm not paying these guys big money because everybody's beat sounds the same. It's like you really can't tell who is who. Like, the people that's popping now, like, they probably charge a mad guap for a beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why I'm gonna pay this guy $50 to $100K for a beat when there's some new person coming up that makes the exact same sounding beat, because they all make the same beats now.
They all be sounding.
They all make this. It's like nobody tries to be different. It all has that formula. It's just bad.
They all want to throw their name on it.
Oh yeah. Now, not only they throwing their names, but everybody's names are the same. It's either something their name beats, like Swiss Beats, but everybody's doing that, or something made it, like Mike Will made it, but now people are copying his name, or
Mustard,
blank on the beat. It's like, come on, man.
Just like the rappers, everybody's young something, young this, young that, little this, little that. It's like, yeah. The beats and they got the nerve. Another thing that pisses me off, and I definitely know this pisses you off because I heard you bring this up before, is that they have the nerve, the audacity to disrespect those who sample.
See, you just
like sampling is so easy. Like anybody could just sample beats. Like it's no skill to that. Like,
can I take it from here?
Go ahead. Because you used to make beats, so go ahead.
All right, all you fucking, I don't know if nerds or whatever, all you people who are on your fucking high horse because you don't sample. All right, let's cut. I don't give a fuck if you could do your beats on your little fucking keyboard. Let me tell you something. None of your beats could hold a candle to anything, and I'm gonna bring up you can't hold a candle to any Pete Rock beat, any Large Professor beat, any DJ Premier beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could keep going on.
Preach.
And you guys,
Static Selector, preach.
To people that don't know about making beats or whatever, that think like sampling is just you hit record and loop it. That's not how it is. People think it's like, oh, they're just hitting record on the old song and then people rapping over it. It's nothing like that. And you can ask the greats. They chop it up. They play it to their. They chop up the beat. They slice up to like a different sound of each button.
Ninth Wonder.
Ninth Wonder. Come on,
Pete Rock.
And they play it how they want it to be heard, to the tempo of the beat, to the beats per minute. And they add their own drums, they add sounds. There's a lot that goes into it. So all you motherfuckers, I think, when you hear sampling, you think you just hit record and dudes rapping over it. It's not like that. And
Havoc.
Oh, exactly. You guys can't. All you guys on your little fucking keyboards. Oh, I don't sample. You can't touch any of these motherfuckers' beats. And another thing is, you know, they always say like Timbaland's known for not sampling, and Pharrell. Guess what? They do sample, actually.
Exactly.
That's why Timbaland got sued a few times. Pharrell got sued a few times. Everybody samples to a degree. Yeah, they made a lot of original shits. But another thing is, too, you guys on the keyboards, yeah, you know how to play the keys, you know how to play the keyboard. But technically, you're still sampling because all those sounds in the keyboard actually came from somebody playing an instrument. Now, all those flute sounds, horn sounds that you're playing on the keys, you're sampling. Because if I gave you a fucking horn or trombone, you wouldn't know how to play the trombone, right? So you're sampling that sound, but you're playing on your keyboard. So technically, at the end of the day, you're all fucking sampling. Can you the drums you do on your keyboard, can you go in the drum set and do the same thing? Most of you probably can't. I'm not saying everybody with a keyboard can't play instruments, but the majority you can't.
Exactly.
So I could go this for days. This shit pisses me off. I've been reading people's comments
Get it off your chest.
on YouTube about this, and then it's like, oh, and then there's some people like, oh, if your song's in commercials, you won't get all the money for it because you sampled. You think some people don't care. That's their style. They like sampling. They don't care about every single cent of their beat.
It's an art.
You know what I mean? There's people that are happy. Like, they don't have to be a billionaire. They could make 6-7 figures a year and be happy. It's like, oh, I have to get every cent. Like, and all the people that sample know that going in, you gotta pay the clearances. So like, what the, you know what I mean? Whatever. I'm sorry that this is what pisses us off.
This is what pisses us off.
Shout out to Pete Rock. I mean, Premier,
Large Pro,
Dre, Large Pro, Havoc, RZA.
Static.
These are the great Static. These are the greatest producers in this culture. And for you people that listen to hip hop, make hip hop music, and bring down sample, and you sound like a dummy.
Okay,
I'm done.
And on that note, next thing I'm gonna bring up is these. I don't know what you call them. These you see them on like the internet and everything. They talk about hip hop, but you could tell like they just went to college and they just like they just was introduced to hip hop. They try to date back. Like, it's a difference between, okay, I'm not saying you can't appreciate and rep the culture just because you wasn't raised in it. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. I'm just saying, don't act like it's a difference. All right, it's a difference with being actually raised, like these albums, right. They talk about, like, we was raised during this era, like when these albums first dropped. Then these little suburban kids, they get to college or high school. Oh, I like this thing called hip hop. Let's date back in. Okay, I never heard that before. So they hearing Illmatic for the first time. They hearing the Infamous for the first time. They hearing the Chronic for the first time. They hearing Outkast, ATLiens for the first time. It's like now they act like they experts. They make me mad when I see them. Like, you could tell the ones too. Like, you don't really, like, you're not really.
I get what you're saying,
but the one I'm talking about, the ones that try to act like they're such fucking hip hop professors or something. Like they got a doctorate in hip hop. Like, you didn't, like, you not, stop it. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I see what you're saying, but I do appreciate the people like that just got into hip hop. And they do their research and actually listen to classics, and you know what I mean. You gotta appreciate it, because we do always say you should do your research if you know your history.
Well, I appreciate those people, but the ones I really don't like are the ones that don't do their history, that only know what's old school to them is like 2005, 2007. They can't take it back further than that.
Well, there's a lot of people,
and they got platforms, but these were the ones that got platforms. I'm not talking about the regular people in the streets. I'm talking about the ones that got platforms that actually talking about stuff. And it's like, okay,
and
but
you could tell. If
I ask you something, like the furthest you could go back is like maybe Mace or something. Like, oh, that's old school. Like, no, do your research. If you're gonna hold that platform and call yourself a hip hop journalist or whatever, do your research. Yeah, go back and do your research.
There's a lot of people who are, you could tell talking to them or just listening to their radio or videos or whatever, that don't know anything hip hop before Pac and Biggie.
Yeah, that's like
and not even the early Tupac, Death Row Pac and Biggie. They don't know anything before.
That's like these stupid young rappers.
Shit didn't exist.
Yeah, that's like these stupid young rappers come out act like so disrespectful. Like, oh, like that's old school. Like, I don't know. Like, basketball players, they could be young. They could was raised on Kobe or whatever, but they'll still do their research. The Michael Jordans, the Dr. J's. Right. If they got a love for what they do and that's what they do, the passion, you don't think the old Lonzo Ball and all of them didn't look at old tapes and did a research of the old greats in the past? But you got these young dumb rappers, like, they're too good. I don't care about no Rakim. I don't want to care. Yo, we ain't saying you gotta love it, but if this is what you do and you represent hip hop and you supposed to be quote unquote waving a hip hop flag, do your research. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, what's wrong with that?
You might pick up a thing or two.
Yeah, when back in the days when rappers was new to the game, Nas and them, they did their research. They paid homage to the ones before them, the greats. Sure. That's why they put out such great music, because they did their research.
Yeah, and all these people that don't care about the history, this and that. That's why after a couple singles are over with, you're gone.
You're done.
People like the greats,
you can't sell out a club.
They don't have to put an album for years, but they tour. That shit sold out.
They tour, yep.
They got longevity. They can make money off touring, straight up. You guys, you're gonna be doing club fucking appearances for the rest of your life, like a couple grand a night. Wow.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And Nori said it before. Nori said it best. He said, in hip hop, if you put out that one classic hip hop album, you could tour for the rest of your life overseas, because they love it. And overseas, they don't care about the stuff that made the radio. They want to hear the real album cuts. So you could do a whole album overseas if it's like a really classic hip hop album. And that's a good lead way to the next one. As I said, pissed me off is
what really grinds your gears.
Yeah, that people just focus on singles. Like albums still matter. That's why I always put hashtag albums still matter. Prince said it in his speech. Albums still matter. Albums still matter. Black lives still matter. Yes, and albums still matter. Like people is like they only focus on singles. Like they only focus on singles. Like, okay, I got these 2-3 singles, got a little club joint, little radio joint, boom, that's it. You listen to their albums like they didn't put no time into it, no effort into the album.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And that's why, like you said, they can't tour or nothing because they got their little singles. Then you see them performing at the casino somewhere. That's all they could do is their little singles.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was that we saw perform at the casino? And
that wasn't with you.
Oh, you wasn't with me? I think it was Mims. Like, you know what I mean? But he had one single, or 2 songs, I think. This Is Why We Hot. That was the Mims, right?
Yeah,
something. But he can't sell out, no. And I'm not trying to diss Mims or nothing. I don't even know the guy. But I'm just saying, if he had a whole album, even if it was one album he could perform that for the rest of his life and get paid. But that's one of the things.
I heard, actually, I guess he got into the app game. He's making money off like apps, like the phone, right, whatever. So good for him. Like, good for him. He turned that one hit into a legit business.
I love it. Good for him. Yeah. I didn't know that. Another thing that pisses me off, and this might be my last thing. I mean, this might just be part 1. We might have to do this another time in the future again.
Right.
But people not giving props to artists while they're alive. Like, people wait, the hip hop community waiting for people to pass away to want to acknowledge all the greatness that they gave to us. Like they always say, give them the roses while they're still alive so they can smell it. Don't wait till they passed away or something tragic happened and then you want to all of a sudden acknowledge all the greatness they did.
Yeah. Prime example was Sean Price. Like, can we hear any of his music on the radio ever? Motherfucker had bangers. Like, his albums were fire.
Yeah.
And then when he died, all of a sudden you want to, I'm not even going to go into who or whatever, but y'all DJs out there and y'all want to play his shit and act like,
y'all want to shout him
what
out.
What a huge loss. Man.
Huge loss to hip hop, but y'all never played none of this stuff while he was alive.
Shit, man. That's
Prodigy
crazy.
is like, when Prodigy passed, it's like, okay, Prodigy still was dropping music. Like, he still was coming out with music. I didn't hear none of y'all DJs playing none of the singles.
Promoting it. Nope.
Not trying to push it at all. And I don't want to hear, the radio, the excuse they've been making for years is what the people request. No, it's what you push on the people.
Yeah, you're the DJ.
It's what you force feed them.
You're the DJ. Y'all want to take credit saying y'all make the rappers. Oh, start making them, because it looks like y'all are being made to what to play now.
And not really just the DJ. It's really the program director of these radio stations. It's the program director that push all this BS, to the people.
Let me ask you this, for like, say, if you're a DJ on the radio, you've been on the radio station for like, say, over 20 years. You don't think you have some type of pull or say?
At night, you have a slot. At night, yeah. At night, you can do what you.
Right.
From what I heard, I'm not an expert in this, but this is just from what I heard.
But how come these people, these vets, ain't doing it? Because I'm not. Well, I don't listen to radio that much anymore because of this. But from what I hear, like, they're all pushing the agenda, the same. They're playing the same bullshit. They're not breaking nothing.
That's true. I mean, you got a point there. And I got beef with most of these out. Like, when they always was talk about like the greats in New York or the greats from the 90s period or great groups or great rappers, they wasn't saying Prodigy and Mobb Deep. They wasn't mentioning them. But now that Prodigy passed, now everywhere you look, every site, everything, Mobb Deep was one of the best. Prodigy was one of the best spitters from the. But y'all wasn't saying that when y'all was having y'all little categories, y'all little debates, y'all little top 5s, top 10s, top whatever. Y'all wasn't mentioning Mobb Deep albums.
And it's a shame.
Mobb Deep, yeah. So that pisses me off. Like, don't wait for the person to pass and then y'all want to talk about, they was one of the greats. They was one of the best, or he was one of the best spitters. Okay, why? Because he passed. You want to say that? Because he's not here with us now? Like, why you ain't do that while he was alive?
Yeah, why ain't y'all buy his fucking albums? He was so great.
Yeah, like, people kill me, whatever. But yeah, that pisses me off. Like I said, I know we sound a little angry today, but this is what the episode's about. You know, anything else that pisses you off?
Yeah.
I got more, but I'm gonna save that for part 2 of what we say you gonna call this one. Rap is out of control. Yeah. Hip hop's out of control.
Bow, bow. Rap is out of control.
Yeah.
What annoys me and bothers me is when the rap vets, or I guess because like we said earlier, people are terrified to be called a hater, or they just, I guess because they're older too, they don't want to speak negative about people, whatever the case may be. But I still get annoyed when these vets, they try to co-sign this garbage shit, these young cats, and they don't like these vets don't like their music at all, these young cats' music. You can tell they don't even collab, but they'll say shit to, I guess to either stay relevant, not sound like a hater, not sound negative, but they co-sign them. But you could tell, like, the music the vets put out, they would never co-sign this shit back in the day. Like if all these young cats were out like in your prime in the 90s or 80s, you would definitely be dissing them on wax.
Yeah.
You'd definitely be saying shit in interviews, and like sometimes it's on the same label, so they'll co-sign them and try to like big them up, but it's kind of annoying,
especially the vets that their whole career is based on lyrics.
I understand about being positive and stuff, but
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't comment, be honest with you, like, it's their thing, I'm not gonna say anything about it.
Yeah, I'll just be like, yo, that's what they
really
do.
The one time, as a one example, what we're saying is what really bothered me a little bit, and I was very disappointed because I think very highly of KRS-One. But when he went on Drink Champs, and they asked him, I guess it was about like the whole, the ghostwriting for Drake or whatever, and they asked him what he felt about ghostwriting, and pretty much he said he don't care about ghostwriting. Now, KRS, if you found out MC Shan wasn't writing his lyrics and you did Bridges Over, you'll probably have a whole verse about him not writing his own shit. Yep. He ain't hip hop, as you would say, or not a real MC. You would have been on top of that shit like no other. Now you're saying you really don't care as long as it sounds hot. And the one thing that really pissed me off, he said, because nobody writes their own lyrics, God does. Now you're gonna make this a religious thing. God writes everybody's lyrics now. It's like to me, it was like the ultimate cop out. It really, I was like, come on, KRS, like that. I don't know. You're supposed to be like, when I think of hip hop culture, he's definitely Mount Rushmore of like the culture, like of hip hop, who always kept hip hop close to the chest, was always very outspoken about it, always blasted the fake, always blasted the bullshit, always blasted the politics. But now you're going to say God writes everybody's lyrics, so you don't care about ghostwriting? I'm like, come on. I know he only said that so he don't sound like a hater, but fuck that, man.
Yeah, they don't want to sound like old, disgruntled rappers. Like, you want to sound like we not that. There's a lot of them like that was like saying ghostwriting, it ain't that bad with them. Like it's okay with them. Like a couple of rappers said that, from like veteran rappers. Or like you said, when they asked the veteran rappers, oh, who do you listen to today? Like, what new artist? They start naming the dumbest. Oh, I think he's kind of cool. I'm kind of feeling. You're lying. I mean, like I said, I don't know for sure, but I'm guaranteed. Yeah. Like I said, especially the ones that career was based on lyricism and bars. For them to say some of these rappers, yeah, I'm feeling him. The ones that got no lyrical skills at all, no bars at all, and you're gonna really sit here and tell me that you're feeling it? I'd rather you just be like, well, my kids like him, so you ain't gotta say the nigga's trash if you really don't want to sound like a hater, even though I would love for people to really say what they feel. But okay, you want to play it PC, you want to be politically correct, just be like, well, I don't listen to what my kids do. But to sit up there and be like, yeah, I'm feeling what you call it, I'm definitely feeling that. Like, come on, man, stop it. Stop it. It's okay to have your own opinion. Out. Nobody's gonna, stop it. Like, quit it, man. Like, KRS, yo, you okay with ghostwriting? God writes, everybody ghostwrites, God writes for us. I don't want to hear that.
Disappointed at that.
I don't want to hear that. It's a terrible answer.
And like,
man,
we're not asking you to go out on a whole tirade about it, but damn. Like,
just say you don't. If
God
that's the
writes
case,
everybody's lyrics, KRS. Come on, man.
Let it come out that Biggie or Jay-Z. Let's just something come out, whatever, even though he doesn't write his own lyrics.
If God writes everybody's lyrics is the real case, why are we, like, what's the point of even people worrying about lyrics or anything if that's the case? Like, you know what I mean? like, what's the point of arguing who's a better rapper if God writes everybody's lyrics and shit like that? Like,
if you're okay with
pretty much the whole hip hop culture is just done. That like,
if you're okay with ghostwriting, there's no reason to ever have debates on top 5 or top whatever. Yeah. If everybody's okay with ghostwriting, because that right there takes away from everything. If you have a ghostwriter, it takes away. If it comes out that Jay has a ghostwriter his whole career since Reasonable Doubt, I guarantee you Jay will never be mentioned again amongst the elite. But then again, who knows? Because people praise him. But I'm just saying, like, nobody's gonna put a person that's has a well-known ghostwriter in any top 5, top 10 category when you talk about best rappers or best lyricists, whatever. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you don't write it, I mean, I just can't respect the MC truly that doesn't write his own rhymes.
My thing is this, because most MCs don't make their own beats. So if you don't make your own beats and somebody's writing for you, it's just like, what are you? I understand.
Some people just know how to deliver it.
I guess, but it's just like, you're not really creating music then. Some people creating it for you in every facet.
Yeah.
You're just pretty much a live performer.
It's not your thoughts. It's not your feelings. It's not your bars. It's not your wittiness.
And that's what hip hop's about.
Yeah,
though.
that's what it's all about.
So it's just like, I understand like a lot of people that do their own beats have people write for them, but hey, they're the creative mind behind the beats, and I'm pretty sure the hooks and what they want the person to write about. So in a sense, like they are creating like their own music. They just want to, I guess not good with metaphors or similes or punchlines,
You know, somebody tried to argue with me before. They was like, it's a skill. Because they was like, okay, they like, say somebody knows how to write rhymes, great at writing, but don't know how to flow, don't have the voice, don't know how to deliver, don't know how to capture the people with their flow. So if they know how to write, but they give it to that other person that knows how to do all that, they're trying to say, well, that's a skill right there. This person knows how to flow and deliver, even if it ain't his rhymes or his thoughts. He knows how to do everything else. And marketable, he could be a great stage performer, but he's not right. So he still should get props because he still has a skill.
All right. That is a skill.
But I still wouldn't still give him props as a great rapper.
No, exactly. Well, you got to give him props for being a performer, I guess, but not hip hop's about. People keep forgetting hip hop's about the originality, creativity, lyrics. But if you're not writing it, fine, we'll give him props. Yo, he's a good performer. That's it, though. Other than that, we're not gonna say
he can flow.
He's an MC.
Yeah.
I mean, because you know what? Because stage performance is a big part of hip hop, and
big part.
And if you're whack on stage, I mean, you lose a lot of points with me. You know what I mean? I hate the people that wear shades on their performance too. Stop wearing shades in the dark arena. Just stop doing it.
Yeah,
just take your shades.
The arena's dark. There's no reason for you to have shades on
like,
stage. But
it's just a smug thing to do.
Yeah, smug life. But yeah. So that's all I got for today. I know there's a lot of things that piss me off in hip hop nowadays, but it's a lot of good things too. Like, I just don't want to stay straight negative, but this is what that episode was about, just to get some stuff off our chest that been bothering us.
Yeah,
in the hip hop community, because we really actually have love for this thing called hip hop. So,
and I mean, there's a lot of things that piss a lot of people off. So let us know what really pisses you off with hip hop right now. What really grinds your gears?
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. Or if you agree with us, let us know. If you disagree with us, let us know.
Yeah, please leave comments.
I have a feeling all you keyboard players, your Twitter fingers hard at me. I don't care.
Leave comments. I'm dying to hear what the people got to say out there, like what ticks them off and everything. You know what I mean? But yeah. So that's about it.
Yes, sir.
Until next time, stay fit and keep it hip hop.
Yes.
And we see y'all when we see y'all. Hip hop all day.
All day.
Peace.